In this video, we will look at a couple of regular ER verbs and how to conjugate them in the past subjunctive, and look at some sentences where they're used. So, the first verb is comer, to eat. Remember, drop the ER off the end of the unconjugated verb and add these following endings. Eu comesse, você, ele, ela comece, nós comecemos, and vocês, eles, elas comecem. So if you watch the past subjunctive video on the regular AR verbs, and that went on a little longer than I had hoped, but I had to explain some things about how the past subjunctive works. Remember that you can use the past subjunctive form of the verb in either the first or second half of the sentence. It doesn't matter where you use it. It's just that if you use it in the first half of the sentence, that means in the second half of the sentence, you need a preterite or imperfect, right? A past tense form of a verb, or a conditional tense form of a verb. The eu iria, I would go, or eu comeria, I would eat, right? So you need these to complement each other. One half of the sentence is one form, the other half is the other form. And remember, the past subjunctive implies, I wanted that something happen. I wanted something to happen, or it may have happened, it may not have happened, okay? Or we wanted you to do this. You may have done this, you may not have done this. Or it was necessary that. Okay, that's past form, so we use past subjunctive as a complement on the other half of the sentence. So anyway, let's look at some examples. A senhora queria que eu comesse mais. The lady wanted me to eat more. I may have eaten more, I may not have eaten more. That's why it's past subjunctive, right? But a senhora queria que. The lady wanted that eu comesse mais, that I might eat more, or she wanted me to eat more. Se ele comesse bolo e sorvete todo dia, ele ficaria mais gordo. All right, so I use the past subjunctive in the first half of the sentence here. If he ate, se ele comesse, cake and ice cream every day, ele ficaria, there's your conditional, he would get or would be mais gordo, fatter. All right, se ele comesse bolo e sorvete todo dia, ele ficaria mais gordo. If he ate cake and ice cream every day, he would get fatter. It doesn't mean that it's happened. This is this is basically saying if he did this, it's a possibility. All right, that's why it's past subjunctive. Next, nossa mãe sempre exigia que nós comêssemos tudo em nosso prato antes de sair da mesa. Our mom always demanded that, ela exigia que, past tense, right, with the que, Q-U-E, now we know there's a past subjunctive coming next. Ela exigia que nós comêssemos. She demanded that we eat. Okay, we may have eaten everything on our plate, we may not have, but she demanded that we do that. Okay, and so that was past tense form of verb complements a past subjunctive. And eu estaria muito feliz se, if, eles comessem a torta que eu fiz. All right, now I used the conditional in the first half of the sentence and the past subjunctive in the second half. Okay, eu estaria, I would be muito feliz, very happy. Se eles comessem, if they ate, a torta que eu fiz, the pie that I made. All right, so I made a pie, it's certain, eu fiz, right? Eu fiz a torta, I made the pie. But whether they ate it or not, I don't know, right? Or there's a potential doubt there. But I would be really happy if they ate it. Okay, they might eat it, they might not eat it. okay, or they might have eaten it, they might have not eaten it, but I would be really happy if they ate it. So, all right. I hope this is making sense. It's just kind of, it's a little bit of a complicated thing, but once you get used to it, once you get the hang of it, it becomes, it makes a lot of sense. It becomes a lot less complex. So let's look at one more verb real quick. Entender, to understand. All right, so the endings are eu entendesse, você, ele, ela entendesse, nós entendêssemos, and vocês, eles, elas entendessem. Our sentences are: se eu não entendesse a matéria, eu faria perguntas. If, there's the if. It's potentially some doubt there, uncertainty. If eu não entendesse, right? If I didn't understand, se eu não entendesse a matéria, the subject, eu faria, there's your conditional, the ia on the end, right? The verb is fazer. And in this case, we'll get to this later, the root changes for the conditional on fazer. All right, but and we've actually talked about this as well in a previous video. But eu faria, I would do or I would make questions. That's how you say to ask a question. Fazer uma pergunta. So eu faria perguntas. I would ask questions. So the past subjunctive on one side, the conditional on the other. Next sentence. Ele queria que, past tense. Now we know there's a past subjunctive coming. Ele queria que ela entendesse multiplicar os números. He wanted her to understand multiplying the numbers. So you'll notice that after entendesse, I just put a full verb, which you can do. We can talk about that later as well, but you can do that if it fits. So he wanted that she understand to multiply or multiplying the numbers. Okay. Seria ruim se, there's your conditional, it would be bad if, se, nós não entendêssemos o discurso em português. It would be bad if we did not understand the talk in Portuguese. We may understand it, we may not understand it, okay, going in. But it would be bad if we didn't understand it. Okay, so that's why it's past subjunctive. Seria, and then entendêssemos. Nós entendêssemos, right? You gotta have a balance there. Past subjunctive with conditional or with past tense. Okay. And then nós desejávamos que eles entendessem os nossos sentimentos. We desired that they understand our feelings, or we desired them to understand our feelings. They may have understood our feelings, they may not have understood our feelings, but we desired that they did. Okay, so past tense form of a verb, desejávamos, and then you have the que, and now you have the past subjunctive, eles entendessem. So, again, rewatch this, practice this, just get used to it. One side of the sentence has the past tense, preterite or imperfect, right? Or the conditional tense, and then the other half has the past subjunctive. There has to be that balance there. So, practice it. Agora é sua vez.